डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Namaskar student, welcome to the lecture series for the subject mobile operating system. I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. Let's begin with our agenda of today's lecture. In last 2 decades, the power of computing has changed. Nowadays, computers are becoming more powerful. The storage capacity and computing speed are extremely fast. Today's computer applications are becoming user friendly with fast processing capability. In this information age, everyone is concerned with the computer and its performance. Nowadays, computer with good speed is basic necessity of people. People do majority of their work with the help of computer. They use computer for online shopping, booking a railway or air ticket, account management, storing files and many more uses are there. Have you ever thought how all these work are done? How does the computer manage all the work given by the user without any errors? Well, how does the computer manage all the attached device or hardware with the help of user? In the beginning of computer era, the task to be performed by user were directly given to hardware. These made the uses of computer difficult as user had to know the architecture of computer system. Later on, various softwares were designed to assist the users. The software minimized the interaction of user with hardware, thus allowing users to perform all functionality easily. This software that operates the computer system is known as operating system or simply OS. An operating system which runs on computer is called generalized operating system, and we will use the term operating system or OS for any generalized operating system. An operating system is the first program that loaded into computer by a boot program. It manages all the applications run on the computer. An operating system acts as a layer between the user or application and hardware. It generally works in background without letting us know who is managing all hardware and application on computer. So, here we discuss layer of operating system. So, as shown in the figure, an operating system plays a role of intermediator between applications and hardware. Here, user gives input to the applications. Based on that, OS perform processing and get result with the help of hardware and transmit it back to application for delivering same to the user. An operating system can also be defined in the many ways. First of all, it is an integrated space In operating system can be defined in many ways. It is an integrated set of specialized programs used to manage overall resources and operation of the computer. It is a software that acts as an interface between the user and hardware of the computer system. It is a software that provides working environment to the user's applications. It is a resource manager that manages resources needed for all the applications in the background. It is specialized software that controls, monitors and execution of all other applications that resides in computer. Now, let us discuss need of generalized operating system. Why we need operating system? To understand the need of operating system, we need to answer the questions raised here. Often while working with computer system, we might take faced question like, while storing the data on file, who is allocating memory to the file? Next question, who is mapping logical path of file to the physical location of file on hard disk? We may have question, today's computer can open and manage multiple windows at the same time. Who managing all windows? Then, who protect users data to unauthorized access by another users? While print command is given, who is transferring the data from file to printer? When any request is sent for the data from the network, who transfers data within network? Who provides the mechanism to transfer data between two applications, and who manages CPU and makes sure that there is not sitting idle or busy forever? Who schedules the processes for the CPU execution? Who manages the memory or RAM and how it is allocated as and when it is demanded by the processes? Well, the answer of all the questions raised here is operating system. An operating system has a responsibility to manage all the resources and applications in the computer system and provides friendly environment to the users. Now, let us try to find out objective of generalized operating system. In the journey of operating system development, the central theme is to keep in mind the convenience of the user. The objectives of the operating system may be stated as a convenience, which means main goal of the operating system is to provide convenience to its users. Operating system hides the complex mechanism of hardware handling from the user and provide a user friendly graphic user interface to its users. So, first is the convenience, second is efficiency. Operating system makes the computer system convenient to its user in an efficient manner. Operating system effectively manages all resources such as printer, hard disk, RAM, CPU. Operating system makes arrangement that each running application can get resources and when it is demanded. OS uses scheduling algorithm, so each application utilizes computer system resources at its optimum level. OS keeps track of who is running, who is using which resources, granting resources request and mediating conflicting requests from different program and users. The third objective is ability to evolve, and operating system should be constructed in a such a way as to permit the effective development, testing and introduction of new system functions without interfering with existing services. So, these are the some of the objectives of operating system. Now, let us try to understand what are the functions performed by the generalized operating system. Now we have understood the need of operating system. Now it is time to discuss various functions of operating system. The functions can be divided into two parts, namely user view functions and system view functions. So one is from user point of view, another is from system point of view. Let us try to understand user view functions. The user view is a top down view function. It allows execution of the user's task on the computer system without knowing the complex hardware detail of the computer system. It provides a simple interface between application and the hardware. The user view functions are as discussed is error detection. So first is error detection. A variety of errors can occur while computer system is running. These includes internal and external hardware errors such as memory errors or device failure or malfunction, and various software errors such as division by zero and inability of the OS to grant the request of an application. OS traces the error and prompts the error messages to the user. It also provides methods for debug and error detection. Second is coordination between application and users. The OS act as a coordinator between various kinds of application and its user. It coordinates assignment of compilers, interpreter, assemblers and other software to various users of the computer systems. The next function is software development and execution. The OS provides a variety of services for the new software such as various kind of editors and debuggers that help user to develop software efficiently and speedily also. All software works on specific set of instruction. OS helps in patching and execution of these instructions. The next function is access to I/O devices. The input output devices has own set of instruction and control signals for operation. The OS converts the I/O device specific set of instruction and signal to uniform interfaces, so user can access such I/O device in a simple way. The next function is file access mechanism. The operating system provides a file access matrix. Each file has a specific rights of read, write or read, write for its users. The OS maintains the file access rights by various mechanisms to provide access to its user. In the case of system with multiple users, the OS may provide protection mechanism to control access to the files. The next function from user point of view is system access. The OS provides a protection method to its resources and data from unauthorized users and solves conflict for resource disputes. The OS has a control access as a whole and specific resource also. The next is a system view functions. We have discussed user point of view functions. Now we discuss what are the functions performed by operating system from system point of view. The OS performs the most of functionality in background, which is called system view function. Managing the hardware, application of CPU, memory management are done in background without the user knowledge. Therefore, from the computer system's point of view, the OS is a specialized program that controls the allocation and retention of all the resources in the computer system. The system view functions are memory management, which means each running software on computer system demands memory dynamically. The OS provides functionality for the memory management. The OS keeps keeps track of the primary memory, like what part of it is in use, by whom, what part is not in use, etc., and allocates the memory when software requests it. The next function is processor management. Each running software acts as a process at a machine level. At a time, many processes stand in a queue to execute set of instruction. The OS provides scheduling mechanism to allocate the processor or CPU to process and retain the processor when it is no longer required. The third task or function is device management. The OS keeps track of all the devices attached with the computer system through the virtual machine manager or drivers. OS provides instruction to the device and receives output for the device. The next system point of view function is file management. The files require physical memory or secondary memory in the computer system. The OS allocates and retains the physical memory as file needs to be saved on hard disk. It also provides the method to retrieve the data from the physical location whenever needed. The next is important, system performance. The OS keeps eye on the performance of the various attached devices. It records the delay between the request for a service and response from the system. So, these are the કેટલી મિનિટ થઈ? કેટલી મિનિટ થઈ? હા તો બાકી છે હજુ. આ ઓલું બટન સ્કીપ વાળું દબાઈ જાય ને એટલે અઘરું પડે છે. કટ કરી દીધું? Now, let us understand the types of operating system. We have seen the basic function and architecture of generalized operating system. Today, a variety of operating system exists. For the day-to-day uses, we have Windows, Linux and Ubuntu operating systems. Network operating system is used to handle several computers on network, and embedded operating system is used to manage mobile devices, and real-time operating system like RT Linux is used to handle real-time tasks without the time delay. Thus, depending on the requirement and project types, an operating system is used. Now, let us discuss first type of operating system, which is multitasking operating system. Today's most modern operating systems are multitasking. As name itself suggests, multiple tasks. Here, tasks may be process, thread, programs are stored in main memory, and executed at a time. If we can play MP3 music, write a text on text editor, search data on internet simultaneously, then the OS is called multitasking OS or MOS in short. All the modern generalized operating systems are multitasking OS. Functions of MOS is the same as function of generalized OS. Multitasking OS is useful when the user want to open and works on the multiple applications simultaneously on computer system. Microsoft Windows, Linux, Ubuntu are the modern multitasking operating system. Now, let us look at the figure of multitasking operating system. Multitasking OS works on the time sharing and context switching concept. Here in time sharing system, each process is assigned some specific quantum of time for which a process is meant to be executed. For example, there are 3 processes P1, P2, P3 ready to execute. So, each of them are assigned some time quantum for which they will execute, e.g. time quantum, for example, time quantum of 10 nanoseconds. As one process begins execution, say P1, it executes for that quantum of time 10 nanosecond. After 10 nanosecond, the CPU starts the execution of the other processes, say P2, for the specified quantum of time after 10 nanosecond. The CPU starts the execution of the other process, say P3, for the next 10 nanosecond. At the end of the time quantum, OS removes one process, say P1, from the CPU and send second process, say P2, in the CPU for execution. It is called context switching. Here, time quantum is too small and context switching happens very fast. A user cannot feel the interrupts in the process execution. This way, the user is given the illusion that multiple tasking are being executed simultaneously, but actually only one task is executing at a particular instance of time. Now, what are the advantages of multitasking operating system? We discuss one by one. The multitasking operating system works on fixed time quantum, is able to provide quick response on request. So, this is the first advantage. Second advantage is that it makes optimal CPU utilization at maximum, resulting in less CPU idle time. CPU always keeps busy, that is the another advantage. Third advantage is it allocates fixed time quantum to each process. Hence, each process gets an equal opportunity of execution. The next advantage is that all tasks run smoothly without glitch in performance. User can run a single task or multiple tasks with easy on computer system is another advantage. Computer resources like RAM, processor, IO device and hard drive are superlatively managed by operating system, but it has some of the disadvantage too. Now, we discuss disadvantages of multitasking operating system. The multitasking operating system shares the computer resources among the multitask that raise reliability issues for the operating system. In the multitasking OS, multiple tasks exist in main memory at a time. At times, it may cause shortage of memory. So, this is another advantage. Next disadvantage, if the processor in the computer system is slow, then it may take long time to process program, and sharing computer resources at a time raises question of security and data integrity of user task. So, these are the disadvantage of multitasking operating system. In this lecture, we have discussed about what is operating system, what are the objectives of operating system, what are the functions performed by the operating system, what are the functions performed from user point of view, what are the functions of the operating system performed from system point of view. We have also discussed some types of one type of generalized operating system, that is multitasking operating system. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्यायः परमः